Stone uptown, down home, American kids get along while we can't always give love. Summertime is finally here, that old ballpark man. You and tequila make me crazy.
We thought was the least harmful was fraud. Oh boy,
Kenny Chesney's not only a country artist. He has a huge fan base that will fill venues with his beach life hit tunes. Minutes, however, beneath the carefree exterior, a Nashville headline about romance conceals issues and hardships he hardly ever discusses. Here is the little-known tale of Kenny Chzn. How did this farm child become an island legend with enormous wealth? Kenneth Arnold Chzn was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, on March 26, 1968. I grew up in an area of East Tennessee where sports were our only pastime. Little did the world know that a legend had just arrived when this future country music singer made his grand entry at St. Mary's Medical Center. Kenny was up in the little Tennessee town of Little, where there are strong country ties. As a result, we had a church, a school, and sports, namely Tennessee football, you know. Not to mention that he has a younger sister named Jennifer Chandler who grew up next to him. His mother, Karen Chandler, was a hair stylist, while his father, David Chandler, taught elementary school. Here's the true jerk, though. No, Kenny wasn't the guitar-strumming idol of today when he was in high school. In reality, he played football and baseball at Gibbs High School. I played football and baseball, and I stopped growing when I was a sophomore in high school, so I'm the same size now. Who would have imagined that the man wearing cowboy hats now would have formerly engaged opponents in combat on the field? After high school, Kenny packed his bags and went to college, where he majored in advertising at East Tennessee State University in Johnson City. However, let's face it, Kenny was never meant for a desk job. His life took a significant turn when he received his first guitar for Christmas. Instead of letting it gather dust, he taught himself how to play, and voila! A country star was born. He became a proud member of the Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity and joined the ETSU Bluegrass program while he was a student. So, yeah, he enjoyed himself while honing his musical abilities in college. Kenny did what all struggling musicians do before landing a big record deal: he forged his own luck. At a modest studio in Bristol, Virginia, he recorded Good Old Boy at Heart, a self-released demo album, in 1989. Classic Recording Studio was located in Bristol, Tennessee. He actually sold 1,000 copies while playing in bars in Johnson City. I went there to record, paid for my first record, and sold it when I played out, you know. That's where the idea of creating your own record and hoping someone would listen to it again came from. That money was used to purchase a brand new guitar instead of booze or partying. You know, when I played out, I sold it, and that's when the idea of creating your own record began, hoping that someone would find it interesting enough to listen to it again. Discuss making investments for your future. With a degree in hand and a passion for country music, Kenny packed up and relocated to Nashville, Tennessee, in 1990 because, let's face it, that's where dreams come true. He began performing at neighborhood bars and, in a significant turning point, got an audition at the Bluebird Cafe in March 1991, and you know what? He did a fantastic job. He became the resident performer at the Turf, a honky-tonk bar in the center of Nashville, as a result of that audition. Suddenly, the small-town Tennessee native was on his way to become one of the most well-known figures in country music and the modern-day Shears King. Imagine this: Kenny Chzn's ascent to prominence had to involve some of that industry magic. Kenny's talent was greatly appreciated by Clay Bradley, the powerful head of writer relations at BMI, back in 1992. And, guess what? He had a friend in high places. Over at Opryland Music Group, Troy Tomlinson Clay then says, "Troy, you should listen to this man." As cool as ever, Kenny enters his audition and performs 5 songs as if nothing had happened. Let's just say Troy was sold. Not content with what he heard, he immediately gave Kenny a songwriter's deal. Discuss making an impact that lasts. And just when you believe that the glow-up was waning, no. A year later, Kenny is tearing it up at a songwriter showcase. The entire room must have been in awe because, by the end of the evening, he had signed a brand new record deal with Capricorn Records, which, incidentally, had recently opened a country division. Optimal timing or destiny in any case, Kenny was present at the game. Kenny Chesney's ascent to fame in the country music industry was unforgettable. His debut single, In My Wildest Dreams, was released by Capricorn Records in 1994. He is an angel like you, but his signing with BNA Records in 1995 marked the beginning of his true transformation. All I Need to Know, his second album, became a gold standard. Music, it was hit after that. Platinum-selling albums such as Me and You, 1996, and I Will Stand, 1997. Facilitated his widespread popularity. Kenny was unstoppable by the early 2000s because to the song, Everywhere We Go, 1999. No Issues, No Shoes, No Shirt 2002. Additionally, anthems like Young and There Goes My Life are played when the sun sets in 2004. Complete classics from 2005 to 2008, he won 4 consecutive ACM Entertainer of the Year titles and 4 CMA Entertainer of the Year honors, demonstrating his dominance in the field. 6 Grammy nominations, 2 Easy Flex. Let's also discuss the status of touring legends. Kenny's performances are occasions. From his big revival tour and No Shoes Nation tour to his Flip Flop Summer tour, which was one of the highest grossing ever, he has attracted millions of fans and sold out stadiums for decades. For example, your trips are not like other tours, dude. You tour stadiums, and it's crazy, and this was probably more than 20 years ago. The man even earned the Top Package Tour Award from Billboard 5 times in a row. From 2005 to 2009, and again in 2011 and 2015. He still has it, too. The 2018 edition of Songs for the Saints did not focus on the devastation. The destruction was not the subject of the film. It was created with the people in mind. Furthermore, 2020 shown that Kenny isn't going to slow down anytime soon. Oh, and in order to stay current, he even collaborated with Ed Sheeran on Tip of My Tongue. Kenny composed the music for the playbook. You know, without a little drama, no celebrity journey is complete. And Kenny CHZN has experienced his share of arrests. Here are 2 of the biggest names in country music, Tim McGrath and Kenny CHZN, being detained in New York. When Kenny, feeling particularly ebullient that evening, attempted to ride a police horse like he was at a rodeo, the drama started. The officers weren't amused, so things heated up and then there was a fight. Both of them were taken into custody, but don't worry, they were released in 2001. A huge country star fight over a horse is still going on. This is not something you can make up. When Kenny and Ellen had a sit-down on her show, Kenny revealed something shocking. His vision is a complete muddle. It appears that the country music icon can only view the first 20 seats at his own performances. Additionally, you are unable to see beyond 20 rows due to weak vision. No, not at all, and here's the thing, fans go all out to make him signs, but he can't even read them. So, everyone gets married to me. He's just squinting and waving because people bring all these signs and spend a lot of time on them, and I really can't see it, so I just wave. However, why not just get corrective eye surgery? Kenny is scared, so you should just get the surgery. Kenny and "We Love You" posters are essentially just decorations at this point. Presumably, I'm afraid to get the procedure. What about the glasses? It appears that there is only one minor issue, after all. A severe phobia of the eye doctor, no shoes, no shirt, no issues. Okay, let's discuss one of the most shocking revelations in Kenny Chesney's career, his union with Renee Zellweger, a star in Hollywood. The tabloids had to put in extra hours since this one was a catastrophe. Therefore, when Kenny married Hollywood actress Renee Zellweger in 2005, everyone was taken aback. However, you missed it since it ended 4 months later, and the worst part is Renee claimed that the annulment was due to fraud. We believe that fraud was the least dangerous as it maintained a broad definition without providing specifics. Fans of "Wait" fraud started speculating wildly. Ultimately, both of them attempted to defuse the situation by claiming the word was solely for legal reasons and had nothing to do with Kenny's character, but the damage had already been done. Was Kenny concealing something? Already, the rumor mill had gotten out of hand. At last, Kenny Chesney revealed the truth about what went wrong in his turbulent marriage to Renee Zellweger. To put it simply, it all boiled down to cold feet. Kenny acknowledged that everything went wrong because, well, he panicked. He was honest about it in an interview with 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper. As it happens, Mr. No Shoes alright, the only deception I perpetrated was believing that I truly understood what it was like to be married, and I actually didn't have any issues or a shirt. Had no idea what he was getting himself into, and suddenly, in late December 2005, their marriage had been formally annulled. Furthermore, she implied that he was gay. He first reportedly declined to comment on rumors that he should have stated, "No, I'm not." However, I didn't want to bring it up anymore because I already knew I wasn't. I didn't need to convince anyone that I wasn't actually. Not to mention the 2008 ACM Awards, where Kenny was upset when the decision was made to allow fans to vote rather than professionals in the field. Since, let's face it, he wanted the awards to come from the industry rather than merely overzealous fans pressing buttons online, he made it quite apparent that he didn't like the change. Perhaps he had a point, but as you can imagine, criticizing the reward system was going to upset some people. We are aware that Kenny is a country music superstar, but not everyone is happy about it. Some die-hard country fans believe he is too commercial and have accused him of eroding the genre in order to remain relevant. You can't satisfy everyone, but Kenny isn't exactly losing sleep over the detractors because they work hard for him. Oh, this was a disaster now. Instead of honoring ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kenny Chesney, who won the CAS Pinnacle Award in 2016. He ended up in the midst of a fan dispute, and the Beehive was not pleased, saying Beyoncé should have had more love from the CAS rather than Kenny. I'm incredibly enthusiastic, but I'm not sure that I've fully understood it yet. Additionally, let me clarify that Beyoncé fans don't play no. Did Kenny mention anything about the early backlash? He simply remained silent and let the storm to pass. Clever move. Honestly, after that, he made a statement. I adore Beyoncé, and I thought her Super Bowl performance was amazing. Her ability to add drama and make the music truly impact when she's performing. The notion that Beyoncé's admirers were so eager to criticize me or understand my thoughts doesn't feel like the woman I've always thought she would be, and to be honest, neither do those who enjoy her songs. Kenny Chesney ultimately understands how to maintain his reputation in the news. Not only is Kenny Chesney a country music icon, but he also has a heart of gold. In 2024, he gave more than $1 million to local police and fire agencies, animal rescues, and Boston Medical Center, among other nonprofits in Massachusetts. Additionally, his Love City Foundation stepped up greatly to provide food, medical assistance, and transportation to those in need after storms destroyed the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands. He is also very active in ACM. Improving Lives Farm Aid Children's Wish List National Parks and Music Air's King of Philanthropy. Let's go on to his enigmatic private life. Kenny dated former Miss Tennessee Amy Colley from 2008 to 2010 following his separation from Renee Zellweger, but their relationship ended in 2012. He has dated model and dancer Mary Nolan, although they maintain a very discreet relationship. No showy statements or red carpets, just quiet affection. As for the children, nope, Kenny is content and living life to the fullest, concentrating on his music lovers and those memorable beach getaways. As a result, Kenny Chzn's name is among the greatest when it comes to country music aristocracy. I won't reveal any secrets, but I have over 30 million CDs sold, a net worth of about $180 million, and a touring career that is essentially unrivaled. You earned $87 million on your tour last year, which is quite a sum. Kenny is a legend, not just a famous person. At the age of 56, Kenny has amassed more than 30 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot Country Songs and Country Airplay charts. Yes, 30. This man can write a hit song, whether it's a soulful ballad or a beachy anthem. And what is he doing these days? Well, he's just living his best tropical life and selling out stadiums while releasing new music. Even though he keeps his personal life secret, he still gives his fans his all when it comes to his music. With his incredible success, devoted fan base, and icon status, one thing is certain. Kenny Chzn is a country music empire in addition to being a well-known country artist.